With the expansion of cities and the massive industrial production by humans resulting in the destruction of the soil structure by heavy metals, large amounts of brownfield land unsuitable for human and other life began to appear. In London, long-standing human intrusion has led to the spread of heavy metal contamination in the soil, the reduction of habitat space for organisms and the progressive loss of biodiversity. Through soil sampling and experiments using moss as an environmental indicator, the soil environment in East London is no longer suitable as a habitat for living organisms. How can humans establish coexistence with other organisms in the face of heavy metal pollution? This requires mycelium as a medium. Mycelium can grow underground, effectively treating heavy metals in the soil and reconstructing the soil structure. In order to introduce the advantages of mycelium into the urban system of East London, we studied the temperature, humidity, and other environmental conditions suitable for the growth of mycelium. Combining the factors affecting mycelial growth. Use a computer to simulate the growth behavior of mycelium. And soil experiments were carried out to verify this, with separate observations recorded in plan and elevation. We found existing brownfield, greenfield sites in the city. Areas of heavy metal contamination were selected for priority treatment, marked them as starting points for mycelium urban ecosystem cultivation and simulated mycelium growth based on geological environments suitable for mycelium growth as attraction points. Mycelium can grow rapidly and cover cities efficiently. Following computer simulations, we experimentally documented the ecological network of mycelium in this environment in a small area and corroborated this with the computer simulation data. This network was applied to the London terrain to generate an antagonistic network, which was constructed to form the Eco-Rehab urban ecosystem. This post-natural city shows that brownfield sites and pre-existing areas of heavy metal contamination in the city have been effectively managed to maintain soil activity and contribute to biodiversity enhancement. Based on the first cyclogon, a second cyclogon is carried out in conjunction with an urban model to explore how the site is changing. As the site changes over the decades, the layout of green spaces, industrial areas and residential areas changes and eventually results in a new urban ecosystem, the Eco-Rehab. We have created a model of the entire city using 3D printing, and on the sand table we can see more visually the details of the layout of the new city system. In order for the mycelium to grow better and to have the same function as the original soil, new materials were found that effectively promote the growth of mycelium through several controlled experiments. Based on a prototype of snake-like tubes suitable for mycelium cultivation, different forms of cell distribution were evolved to create a program structure, which combined the cells together to form a coexistent space. New materials are filled in to simulate the morphological changes of the mycelium in these spaces. Based on the interactions between the units and the behavioral mechanisms of mycelium self-growth, an urban ecological skin based on the new material is constructed. During the experiments, the new material was found to be effective in promoting the growth of mycelium and to have good structural support. Based on the current mycelium production method, the new material was obtained by means of a device to mix the substrate, sterilize it at high temperature, transport it and plan to use a robotic arm to fill the new material in the units. Depending on the biological system, several different procedural systems have been constructed using different structures. The mycelium in the above-ground part grows over time and the robustness of the new material is increased to meet the structural support and to take on some of the functions of the original land. The mycelium of the underground part of the units forms a link with the soil of the original site and continues to spread in all directions, continuously absorbing heavy metals from the soil. As the urban system of Eco-Rehab grows in accordance with its characteristics, the blurred boundaries organically integrate the behavioral patterns of people and other organisms, which effectively facilitates the interaction between people and nature. Different spaces have diverse characteristics as a means of accommodating different functional and programmatic activities. In response to the problem of heavy metal pollution caused by human industrial activity, the use of mycelium as a medium to build ecological habitats for the coexistence of humans and other organisms in post-natural scenarios is called eco-rehab.